MasterChef is one of the most popular cooking shows in the entire world, and today, as a new chef, I'm gonna attempt to recreate one of their most famous dishes with my little twist on it. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, let's hop right into it. So today we're gonna be trying to make homemade raviolis, and inside the ravioli is gonna be an egg yolk and ricotta. And when you cut into that ravioli, that egg yolk should break and be beautiful. And we're gonna do this with a squash sauce as well. I've never really successfully made pasta, never made a ravioli, never worked with this type of squash, so this should be an interesting video. All right, so now I have my mise en place, and we're gonna actually get into making the dough. So first things first, I have 2 cups of flour that I'm gonna pour right here, right out on the beautiful, beautiful table. I obviously clean my surface first thing, and this is where we're gonna make a beautiful little bowl here made of flour. Now this is one of the harder parts because you have to get it perfect. You have to make a little circle in the middle and kind of let the egg yolks go in the middle, then you gotta stir it. So it's a little bit of an issue, but it's all right. I'm gonna make the circle or the well in the middle a little bigger, because last time I made pasta, if you did watch that video, it did not go nearly anywhere as good as it should have gone. I don't think I made my well big enough, and then the eggs started coming out from the sides. It was absolutely horrific. So now I have 3 of my egg yolks, or my eggs, and I'm just gonna crack them right in the middle. Now this is one of the scarier parts because I don't want it to break out of this beautiful well, and I gotta mix the eggs in the middle of the well so they can successfully, work. So if you guys don't know, pasta the real first time we've ever seen have any history of it was when the Etruscans made it in 400 BC. And that's actually pretty interesting because 400 BC is so long ago. But again, pasta is such an easy thing to make that they could have made it all the way back then. Now, the one thing I didn't do last time when I was making my beautiful pasta was I didn't let the dough rest. And that's gonna actually be different this time because I have to make a sauce. And while I'm making the sauce, the dough is gonna be resting. And I have a beautiful pasta making machine right here. You can kind of see it off camera, but let's see how that works. Now's the tough part. We're gonna roll this out. So we're gonna incorporate a little bit of this flour into it and just start, mixing it a little bit, start getting it, nice and warm. Because now I gotta get the flour and I gotta get the egg yolk to kind of merge as one. Now I don't know if I mixed it the most beautiful way, but I wanna keep it all together. I wanna make sure it all kind of stays together. Now, I don't think I mixed that the right way. I think I should have kind of done more with my hands sooner. But, here on this channel, we're a new chef. We don't necessarily know what we're doing, but we don't not know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So now it said I have to knead this dough for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a very long time to incorporate all of this stuff. So if the pasta isn't formulating, I'm gonna add a touch of water. I'm gonna add a touch of olive oil, and we'll kind of see what happens there. Now I wanna add a touch of salt, but I didn't mise en place the salt already. So we're just gonna add a touch of salt. So the dough is very dry. So what I think I'm gonna add is a little bit of olive oil in order to make it a little bit, not softer, but a little glossier. Because right now it is just really, really hard. Now this is where we kind of get experimental, because again, we don't know what we're doing. And this is all about making the best pasta we can. Now, homemade pasta is extremely difficult to make, for me at least. I mean, maybe for some it's really easy. I even come close to trying to make it. It just goes incredibly south, and I never successfully pull it off. So now I'm gonna work on this for a bit, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, after kneading that dough for a long, long time, we have this bowl. It's not the greatest bowl. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in this bowl right here, and I'm gonna put a towel over it, and I'm gonna set a 30-minute timer, and hopefully, this will be good to use in 30 minutes. Now we're gonna work on our beautiful squash sauce. Now first things first, I'm gonna want a really sharp knife. Now this apparently isn't a knife sharpener, I've just learned. It's when the edge of the knife goes out, it brings it back in. I don't have an actual knife sharpener. Now the first thing I'm gonna do, and the first thing I bought, is this. This is not your typical squash. This is an acorn squash because there were 0, and I mean 0, normal squashes in the store. So I said, you know what? Let's go for an acorn squash. Didn't even know this existed, but let's do it anyway. I don't exactly know how to cut into this or what is inside of it, but we're kind of gonna find out ourselves together. I don't know if there's a seed. I don't know anything. Okay, so we just cut into the beautiful center of that, and look at that. That has seeds all in it. I did not know that would be a thing, but here we are. I got a spoon, and I'm just gonna literally scoop out these seeds. I don't wanna deal with them, and I don't wanna make a mess. So we're just gonna scoop them out, put them in a bowl, because I don't want to deal with them. Maybe I can make like a squash soup or something. But I took out the seeds, and now as you see, there's nothing inside. Now I'm just gonna cut this in half into little squares, It is very hard to cut, like very hard to cut. It's extremely, extremely hard. I don't know if I'm supposed to take the skin off. I have no idea, but we're literally just gonna kind of cut it up into small pieces because it's all gonna be blended anyway, so I don't really care. Now I'm just gonna cut enough to fill up my little bowl, and that's about it. I might just use the whole thing though, because I don't know when I'll ever use a squash again, you know, I really don't know. My knife cutting skills aren't phenomenal, and half the time I'm pretty scared I'm gonna cut my finger off. But that's all good. That's really no stress at all. All right, so now we have all of our acorn squash cut up into little cubes, as you see on the GoPro right there and on the camera. It is cut beautifully. Now we move on to the next one. Now we have to cut an onion, and last time I cut an onion, it did not go well. It hurts, it burned. We had a lot of burning going on. I'm not even kidding you when I say this. I watched a tutorial by Gordon Ramsay, right? How to successfully cut an onion. I do forget a little bit how it went, but he said, do not cut this top part off or you will completely cry. You will cry like an absolute baby. So we're gonna try to cut everything but that thing. Now I'm gonna cut almost all the way through the onion, almost all the way through. I'm gonna cut almost all the way through the onion again, and then I'm gonna cut around the stem because I do not wanna cry, so I'm just not gonna cut that root off at all. I am not touching that root. Now it has fallen apart a little bit, but as you see, I left the root completely there. It is completely there. I don't wanna cry. I actually didn't cry, which I'm very surprised. Again, in this kitchen, we're learning every single day. So whenever we do learn something, it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, now we're gonna mince garlic, which I've also never done in my life. We've cut garlic, but we never really minced it. So this should be very interesting. So I'm gonna cut the garlic or just smack it just like that, just to get this stupid layer skin off. I don't want that. I don't want that in my stuff at all. Get this, I need to crush this one a little more, but so this one's a little small, so it's okay. I don't have a garlic mincer or anything like that, so I have to do it all by hand, which is perfectly fine. I don't really mind. Look at this, look at this. What is that? Is that growing? There's a plant growing inside. What is going on? Okay, something's not right here. There was a plant going, oh God. All right, so now we're gonna finally chop this garlic. Now, I don't know if there was supposed to be a plant growing inside of my garlic. I'm not really too sure. That was a little weird. I think when I was in like first grade, we actually got like a little cup of dirt and we put like a garlic clove inside, and it was like a plant grew out of it, which was pretty cool. I think I still remember that. So we're just gonna cut this up nice and finely, just to make sure that it's all very nice. I mean, I really don't have a garlic mincer, so I don't know how small it's supposed to be, but we're gonna make it as small as we can, you know? We're gonna make it as small as we can. Maybe we'll put it in a pile, then like crush it. Maybe that'll help get the flavors out, I don't know. Now we're gonna put this minced garlic in our other bowl. Now we have all our ingredients to do this squash sauce, so let's hop over to the stove and get it going. All right, so now we're over on the stove, and now you see it's heating up a little bit too much too quickly, but I have this on a really medium heat. I have all my instructions on the left, and I have my ingredients on the right with my olive oil. All right, so first things first, we're gonna put olive oil in the pan and add our diced onion immediately. Add that beautiful olive oil. Then we're gonna add all of our diced onion into the pan, and we're gonna let this kind of soften up a little bit for about 3 to 5 minutes. Now the important thing is to make sure it gets softened up enough where we don't have that crunchy, disgusting, you know, this gross flavor none of us like from onion. Now if you have any tips, you know, let me know in the comments. Again, I am completely new to this, so, you know, leave me some support, give me some love. But this is gonna be my most challenging video to date, so if you're still watching, comment down below the word flour. You choose the version of flour, and I'll make sure to respond to you immediately, my friend. I spread my wings and I learned how to fly. Now, as the onions are going, I'm gonna add some beautiful pepper to this. I'm gonna add a good amount of pepper because I'm not gonna add more to this sauce at all. I'm actually gonna add a bit more. I want it to be a little tangy, you know what I mean? Then I put a little salt in there as well, and I'm gonna let that kind of work in with the onion a little bit. I'm gonna add all of my minced garlic and let this work into the flavor as well. Add that in, and then I'm gonna saute that for a little bit. I don't know if I'm supposed to peel my squash, guys. I've never used this in my life before. We're gonna add all of that squash in there. It might be too much squash, but hey, squash sauce is a squash sauce, you know what I mean? All right, now that I have everything in the same exact pan, I'm gonna add enough water. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So I'm not gonna put too much water because I don't at all want this to be too liquidy of a sauce. And this is gonna simmer for about 20 minutes. And now is the time of reckoning. It's time to make that pasta. So this is what I have for my pasta maker. I have a KitchenAid and I bought the attachment for it. So I don't know how this is gonna go, I've never used it in my life, but we're just gonna see how this goes. My pasta dough has been resting for a good amount of time. Put water on my fingertips, and I'm just gonna kind of start flattening it out a little bit. I have a roller, which I'm gonna use to start the process because I don't know how much it's gonna roll in there. I know it's obviously gonna roll a lot, but I just don't know what to expect. Flour to all the sides because again, I don't want it to stick in that. That would really, really suck. So I'm just gonna add flour to this. This is the first time I've ever used this, so that's going as well. Okay, here we go, boys. Here goes nothing. I don't really know what to expect. Okay, it doesn't fit. It's like breaking up, like look, it's just falling apart. So this might be an absolute L. We might not be able to even make the, I'm not sure. Guys, I do not know what I'm doing wrong. I literally don't. I followed the instructions for pasta. It's too hard. All right, so I Googled it on ChatGPT. I know ChatGPT. I know it has its issues. I get it. If it's too hard, it says to add water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add water a little bit at a time and see if it gets any better. Because at this rate, boys, we're not gonna have any pasta to make. So we're just gonna add water and see if this gets any better. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot of water, boys. Okay, I think I messed up, guys. I think I messed up. I think I really messed up. It's feeling better though. It really is. I think I put way too much water though, because now it's like, look at how it looks. Yeah, this is an absolute shit show, boys. We're just trying our best here, and that's really all we can do. You know, I'm gonna start flattening this out with my rolling pin and just see, because my rolling pin is getting absolutely creamed. I'm not sure, guys. I have literally no idea what I've been doing wrong. Now I'm gonna try this again. Okay, oh my God, okay. All right. Okay, okay, okay. Listen, okay, we got somewhere there, we got somewhere. We're gonna put it to a 5, because it is breaking up a little bit, but that's okay. We have a little bit of pasta, we're gonna glue it back together. Listen, this is not how you make pasta. I mean, let's be honest, boys. This is one of the worst attempts at making pasta I've ever seen in my life. We're just gonna go with the flow, and you know, that's really all you can do is go with the flow. We're just gonna patch it where we can. Wherever we see it needs reinforcement, we're gonna put some reinforcement there. This might all break. I'm not, oh God, this is not going well. All right, here we go. Hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it. Hold on, it's not in the middle, so, oh God, this is going very bad. Start trying to lead it back this way a little bit. Okay, it fell apart, shit. All right, so let's just be honest. This is not going well, like at all. So what I think I'm gonna do is put some of these pieces together on top of each other that have actually worked out. Not worked out, but they've, you know, they haven't busted. And I think I'm just gonna try to somehow make this into edible pasta. I don't know how, I don't know. So, you know, we're just gonna add to thickness where it needs to and keep running it through the machine. And, you know, that's, boys, at this point in time, this is called trial and error. And there's a lot of error being done here. There's a lot of error. So I'm gonna add a little bit more flour to it. Down the middle. And work for me, baby. Work for me, baby. Okay. Okay. That might break off, I'm not sure. Okay, that's a little better. I think I'm gonna fold it again and do it again. Let's do it again. Let's put it on a smaller setting this time. Let's go all the way to let's go to 3. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. Here we go. Okay, there we go. We're getting something going here. Oh, I think it's just gonna fall apart on me. This has not gone good in any standard of the imagination. This doesn't look terrible. It really doesn't. It doesn't, I'll be honest, the consistency feels horrible. I mean, at this point, we're gonna take what we can get. You know what I mean? This sheet right here, we're gonna make ravioli. All right, so now we're actually gonna try to build this ravioli. Now, my goal for this ravioli is to make an egg yolk with ricotta around it. And then, I don't know, guys, I saw this on MasterChef. I'm like, I have to try this. So first things first, I brought 2 eggs just in case I don't complete the first one successfully. So we're gonna actually separate the yolk from, we're just gonna separate the yolk. And I've never done this with the shell, so this is gonna be a first. So we gotta just switch it back and forth and just make sure we get all of that disgusting, disgusting stuff out of there. And we just want the yolk. We don't want any egg white at all. So we're just gonna kind of go back and forth until we successfully do this. We're gonna set that aside right there so that doesn't, hopefully that doesn't break or move. All right, so I have bought this little funnel thing and I'm gonna put ricotta inside of it. And I'm gonna put some pecorino romano inside of my ricotta. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. A huge, okay. Well, okay. Is what it is. That's all right. We'll see how that, okay. And all I'm gonna do is scoop this into this beautiful pastry bag. That's it. All right, so that ricotta cheese is done. Now I have this beautiful pastry bag full of that ricotta. And God, I don't know how this is gonna work. So now it's coming out. I'm gonna make a little tiny circle. I'm gonna make, because I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. I'm gonna make a nice tight circle where my egg yolk will fit. And I want it to be high enough where the egg yolk won't fall out. So it's kind of like a 2-layered cake in some ways. As you see, we have a little crest for our egg yolk. And now is the very, very tough part. I'm gonna drop this egg yolk into the middle. We do have a little too much egg white, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. It is sitting beautifully. Oh my, okay. This is sitting beautifully. Now all I have to do is cover it up with pasta dough and make that beautiful ravioli. So now I'm gonna put this layer of pasta over top, just like this. And I'm gonna press down with a fork to make those edges. I want it all the way up to the ricotta. But again, this pasta dough isn't great, so I don't know how this is gonna work. It's not like, it's not holding like I want it to. I think I'm gonna add a little bit here, just a little bit. Because I mean, I need to, or else it's not gonna fit together. Now I've cut out my pasta completely. I have it done, the water's boiling. It's time to see how this goes. So now this is our sauce as well, and I'm gonna throw this right in the blender. Now I'm not gonna show you the ravioli till the final plating of everything. Now we're gonna add some quick, heavy cream to this sauce, and it's gonna lighten that color a lot. So I figured I'm not gonna show the sauce, I'm not gonna show anything, I'm gonna show the plating of it. This is my plate so far, it looks pretty good. The ravioli, I'll be honest boys, it's not looking good. It is not looking good at all. But I put sauce over top. Are you kidding? Beautiful, okay, that is, let's see how the middle looks. Let's see, does the egg yolk explode or not? Okay, we got the right, consistent, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to explode. Let's see how the pasta tastes. With the ricotta, let's see how it tastes. That might be the grossest thing I've ever put in my mouth.